What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Mind Pump TV. I'm your host, Danny Matranga, and today I want to help you guys if your leg routine's gotten a little stale. If you're getting sick of just the basic squats, deadlifts, and lunges, we've put together an awesome video for you today on B stance exercises. Now, a B stance is basically the application of an offset stance or staggering your feet a little bit to mix up the stimulus to a traditionally bilateral exercise, or an exercise that's traditionally done with a stance that's very even. Now, why this is so cool is it gives us the ability to kind of inject some novelty, try something new, and take exercises that you're already probably really good at and make them harder without necessarily progressing with weight or intensity. So if you're looking for something new, like our landmine leg day, which we did a while back that you guys really liked, then this is a great video for you. So stay tuned, let's get into it. All right, guys, so the first movement in our B stance specific leg day is going to be a B stance Romanian deadlift. Now, before we dive into any of them, I want to get you guys familiarized with what a B stance even is. So basically what it is it's the traditional stance for the exercise with one leg slightly offset and behind. And what that does is it allows the legs to work a little bit differently. It creates an environment where there's some instability. And again, it makes a traditionally bilateral exercise, like a squat or a deadlift, a little bit more unilateral. So where this stuff's really awesome is if you have a hard time feeling one leg or the other, or if in your things like your squats and your deadlifts, you're noticing some asymmetry. This can be both work for corrective exercise, but also for just novel hypertrophy or muscle gain work, or just if you're looking to spice up your leg day. So for the B stance RDL, I'm gonna show you guys from the side here. I get into my traditional RDL position with the dumbbells, right? I've selected about half of what I would normally use when doing dumbbell RDLs to start. I would recommend starting with half because, again, it's unstable. You can jump up really quickly once you get the hang of it, but start light. I've got one leg set back. Now, from here, I'm hinging at the hips, feeling the stretch in the hamstring, specifically in my left leg. Coming up quickly, right? I might need to make adjustments for comfort here. Feel free to do that. Now, once you've got about 8 on one side, you're simply going to switch, get it from the other side, and then it's on to exercise 2, which is a B stance goblet squat. So exercise number 2 is gonna be a B stance goblet squat, right? Same rules apply, offsetting one leg, and going through the traditional range of motion you would perform the exercise with, right? Don't just copy me. Find out what range of motion you've already been doing and then apply the B stance to it. So I'm gonna be using this Kirby looking kettlebell. It kind of looks like Kirby from Super Smash Bros to me. And now what I do is I hold it in the front rack position, set up my B stance, and just go through my traditional squat. Driving through the heel of the front leg. So you'll feel it a little more in the lead leg, and the back leg almost does a little bit of a lunge. Now this is, again, really good if you notice some asymmetries in your squat. Again, you can get out wide and just practice doing that. It's all specific to the individual, but again, about 8 reps per leg, and then it's on to exercise number 3, the B stance hip thrust. All right, guys, so the third exercise is a B stance hip thrust. Now, I get this question a ton. What do I do if I feel one glute more than the other, right? I get that question a lot, and I know a lot of you guys are worried about asymmetrical development. Well, this is exactly where a B stance exercise or a unilateral exercise has an awesome place. Because when I stagger the feet, one glute's gonna work a lot harder than the other. And then I get to work them independently of one another. So if you are someone who has that asymmetry or you're starting to kind of feel one glute outpace the other, you might want to regress your hip thrust into some unilateral or even B stance hip thrusts until that stuff subsides. So set up just like the rest of them. You get into your traditional setup for the exercise, right? Then you assume the B stance. You can put one leg forward, out to the side, back. I like to set it forward just a little bit. So my lead leg in this position is going to be my left leg. I'm going down, extending, trying to accentuate a little bit more through that glute. Now, when I do this, I really have no problem feeling both glutes, but it's pretty apparent that the left side works a little bit harder. I like to get like 12 to 15 per side and then move on, or if I do decide to thrust a little bit heavier, then I'll do something like 8 to 10. I will say this, where the RDL and the Goblet seem to be a little bit easier to go heavy, the hip thrust is a little bit more difficult because you're lying flat and you're trying to balance that dumbbell up against the body. So I would recommend 12 to 15 on that one. Now we're gonna move on to the fourth one, the B stance cable pull through. All right, guys, the fourth and final exercise is a B stance cable pull through. Now, before we get started, I wanna make sure you guys have it set up properly. The cable pull through is one of the most butchered leg exercises I see in the gym. And the reason people make this mistake is they're not setting up the cable in alignment with the directionality of the exercise. So what I mean by that is they'll leave the cable down here, or they'll have the cable up too high. And that kind of gets in the way of properly loading the glutes. So first thing we want to do is attach a rope. It's the best attachment for cable pull-throughs. From there, I need to make sure that this cable is pretty close to aligned with my glutes. So I'm gonna put it right about here, okay? Over here. Now, from this position, just like a traditional pull-through, okay? I'm going to make sure that I step forward, okay? This allows my hips to travel back. You'll notice that the cable is directly lined up with my glutes, right? That's huge. That's super important. That helps me load that tissue properly, right? If I don't have the cable lined up with my glutes, I'm not gonna feel this at all, especially in a B stance. So, cable's lined up just how I want it. I go into my B stance. Arms are up against the thighs, which I keep my triceps extended here. Elbows extended, triceps on. Travel back, squeeze the glutes. Travel back, feel the stretch, squeeze the glutes. I like to live in my heels here. You'll notice I lift my toe. Helps me feel it that much more. Get about 12 to 15 of those per side, and that's a wrap. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video and some of the unconventional stuff we did for legs, be sure to check out our Ultimate Landmine Leg Day. A lot of the same stuff, a lot of unique things you've probably never done before. And again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll go through there and answer any questions you have. If you have any B stance exercises or unconventional leg exercises you like to do, make sure you drop them down there too, because I'm sure everybody's here looking for the same stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.